Wouldn't you know it, my mic died, which is fine. Hi! You love talking to them. You've been dead asleep. And the minute that the camera comes on, you always come and cuddle me. My moral support. Hello. 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 You see, look how big I'm getting, people. Look how big I'm getting. Well, hello, my beautiful YouTube family. I was just about to sit here and tell you how irritated I've been, because I have been, but these boys are just such good emotional support dogs. If you guys don't know, I recently quit drinking, and this last week has been really hard because I'm just recognizing how much of a mess drunk Rachel has left. And it's pretty overwhelming to clean all of it up and change your life, you know? And it's not that I'm irritated because I'm not drinking. I'm irritated because I just wish I could shake past Rachel, be like, you really drank to avoid all these minor to-dos and these messes, and now they're this big. Crazy. I wish I could come back with a project video. I know you guys don't mind the content that I'm making lately, but I do miss that we bought the house to renovate it. And I miss the fact, I can't even miss it because I haven't even started to renovate it. Anywho, we have to get my life back together or change my whole life. So I figured, why not? Let me show you how I'm going to do that. But it doesn't just come overnight. So this is over the course of I don't even know, a week and a half. And if this helps somebody, I hope it does, but I'm really making it because I'm hoping that this is just a start of a new chapter of getting to the goal of why we came here, which is renovating the house, which is crazy to think. If we did it back then within the 90 days, we wouldn't have really considered any of these new additions, you know? So trying not to beat myself up, getting my life back together. I'm going to show you how. But the truth of the matter is, I am very irritable because I am just getting so irritated and I'm just so heartbroken now, realizing why and what I've been avoiding. But that's okay. We're going to change it right now. Getting my life together is no easy feat. There's no overnight switch to anything, specifically this time around with the depression that was lingering. So what I allowed myself to do for the first time in a very long time is just be present and see how I feel and execute my day with what best flows for me versus creating this huge list of impossible tasks to create and then feeling like a failure at the end. I threw out the list for a week and I just got the things done I knew I needed to get done, and my main goal was to not drink, which we did. I had to really scale back and simplify it even more. I had one goal a day. One was just doing the flowers and having my morning routine with my books again. Done. I felt great. I was like, oh my God, why have I not been doing that? That naturally rolled into the next day of just doing my books. So I added something else to my list, was working out or doing a mobility routine right when I wake up as well. Just stretching my body, showing it love. To be completely honest, physically slowing myself down, because I just wake up and I hear go and then I don't stop, but it's not a productive go. So slowing it down and being more present again was the only focus for the week, to get an idea of what type of schedule is going to be best for me in this newfound sobriety. My go-tos right when I want to get back into the swing of things with my body is looking at breath work and a 15-minute mobility routine on YouTube. I'm not even kidding. And just picking what fits my fancy that morning. And then I've had this app called Good Fitness downloaded since the pandemic, and I've never completed the 8-week course. So I always just try to start that again. But now we're going to finish it, you guys. I'm determined. I got to get you guys a pig/dog door. Excuse me, Leo. Excuse me, bud. Oh, good move. And the switch begins. You gonna lay by the heater? It's sad to admit that I have no energy to really take care of myself, and it has taken an episode like this for me to take that seriously. But one tried and true that I've always shown up for are my animals. And with that being said, I've noticed that I keep trying to check other things off my list to get back to my animals and get back to me living a life around them. This is going to sound crazy because we're actively doing that now. But really, I'm trying to separate my business and them, where I'm bring them both together. So throughout this reset week, I've gone on my Pinterest and just redesigned the whole renovation to center my life around creating a little sanctuary here. Having that epiphany sounds a little crazy because it feels like I should have been, or maybe it looks like I should have been knowing that for a while, but it allowed me to then like vision board a little bit more clearly versus based off of material goods, which I'm kind of guilty on when I go onto Pinterest. I'm like, ooh, what life looks good. It's like, no, what life feels good. So then I vision board. And I'm not too sure when I got embarrassed to dream out loud, but this is literally me and Gracie riding around trying to figure out where we want to rescue different Mustangs if we can track them down from her herd. So that's another goal that I have. It's like if I'm not dreaming, I was drinking, and I haven't dreamt in so long. And that, oh my God, that's so sad. But anyways, you know, slowly but surely we're getting better, people. On the subject of handling the things, even though we're feeling overwhelmed, one way that has just helped me physically in my reality is taking care of my brain. And that is all thanks to today's sponsor, BetterHelp. The new year is a blank space for you to write a new story. BetterHelp makes it easier to get started. You can fill out a questionnaire right online and you'll match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. Everything is online, right at your fingertips, which I love, specifically living in the middle of nowhere with not a lot of resources. But really what I love is like breaking down all these feelings that I have. I'm not really tying a reason why. I have been numbing it. So it's really nice to go in and demo what has been built and start to rebuild properly with the right help. You get to connect with a therapist from BetterHelp's diverse network of over 30,000 licensed professionals that have a wide range of backgrounds and specialties. So you can find somebody that suits exactly what you need, and you get to switch therapists with no extra cost if it's not the right fit. It is so nice to know and to admit that I am not only just building a life I love externally, I am now doing it internally. And even though that work is hard, there really isn't any excuse when this is right at your fingertips and it can just fold so seamlessly, at least for me, into my schedule, my lifestyle, allowing me to get the help I need no matter what. I've beat myself up in the past for not getting into therapy, using every excuse in the book and not getting into it sooner, but you can honestly start fresh any day with BetterHelp. So you can click the link in my description box or go to betterhelp.com/Metz and you can get 10% off your first month of therapy. Again, you can click the link in my description box. I've also pinned it in the comment for you, or you can head over to betterhelp.com/Metz and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Thank you, BetterHelp, for literally helping you out. Let's get back to all the physical tasks we need to wrap up and just goal out 2025. Before I could goal myself out with literally anything, I went back to my manifesting roots and I vision board. I didn't rush this process for one night. I just let it naturally happen throughout the week, and I truly created a life that I wanted to implant myself in immediately. And once I had that in front of me, I was able to start to come up with the plan. And maybe that's why it felt so unobtainable. I've just been working harder, not smarter. It's like I'm doing a school presentation. That's also how I feel. I'm a little embarrassed sharing all this. Done. Grade me down below. When I look at this, it's pretty funny. The last time I did a vision board, it's actually, I don't know if it's funny, but it's a little sad. The last time I did a vision board, it was the complete opposite of this. It was so materialistic. There was like money stacks everywhere, cars, huge mansions, anything that had to do with designers. Now, it's so much simpler and slower and beautiful, and me. This is me. Like the last time I did a vision board, I gotta say, looking at it with these eyes, looking at this vision board with these eyes and remembering the last vision board I made, it was so me trying to fit into a man's life, which Paul and I are still friends. We talk. Like I have no animosity towards that man, but I'm talking about me being in that relationship and the tools I didn't have in my toolbox. The one thing I did have at that time was like, how can I morph to be a part of people's life? And this is, I mean, all of this over the last 4 years, but this is beautiful to me because this is like such a reflection of just me and what I want. So now that we have an idea of who we want to be, how do we get there is something that a lot of I don't have a lot of friends, but my close friends know. When they are trying to do a dream, when they're trying to go after something, I'm like, cool, how do we get there? I'm back to the drawing boards. Literally, these are my 2 original whiteboards. I've had them for like 10 years. This is a monthly one that I will link for you if you want it. I definitely should purchase another one, but whatever. I color coordinate it because I'm very visual. So purple is personal, red are like days I'd like to go live with YouTube or YouTube ideas. So I have a focus for the week. And then blue is just when I like to post social. Anyway, I'm like, okay, well, how do you get there? You got to break it down even more. Again, waking up and dealing with the mess sober that drunk Rachel has put us in is overwhelming in itself. There's a lot to do. Everything has a blueprint, right? Everything has a plan. I think about it in building terms, and it's crazy. For my whole career, I have gone after everything with little to no blueprint, little to no plan. And then I like sit back and I'm like amazed that it's not working out. These are my month goals. They're very basic. It's like hydrate more, get on a workout plan, make sure everybody's getting worked animal wise. What else? I'm literally trying to guess it and I made a list. Haircut, glasses, chemical peel, like literally the most basic things. Go to the dentist. But if I don't see it, I'm not gonna do it. The reason the animals get continuously taken care of and spoiled is because they are actively right in front of me. So I am just like, yep, I am putting all that energy into you guys. We have an idea now, like what I would like to accomplish within the month. What does a day in that month look like to obtain those goals? And then you break it down even more with an ideal schedule. I wake up at 4 a.m. I also go to bed at 9, but you can do whatever schedule you want. I don't need to stick to this, but it's just good to kind of have a guide when you are your own boss. I'm the worst boss to have. I mean, when I had employees, I feel so bad. There's still so much I need to deal with that, but like, I shouldn't have hired anybody. That's ridiculous. This is me attempting to really like have a meeting with myself. Like if employee Rachel is right here, I'm like, just answer the email. Just answer the phone. All you have to do is go, hi. Thank you for calling Rachel Metz Incorporated. Like it's just, there's such basic tasks that I haven't stepped into being a boss. I don't know if it's because I don't feel worthy. I don't know if it's because I don't feel like I would take myself seriously. But last time I did that, I created this career. So what are we doing, Rachel? So that's how I'm kind of daily going to change my life. Is like, I got a monthly plan over here that is welcome to change. That is something I've allowed myself is like, if it doesn't work out, it's fine. You need to just shift, but it's good to have it there. Boom. This is how we're going to get there. Now it's like, we got to actually execute it. If this was physical Rachel, I'd be like pushing her everywhere. I'd be like, oh my God. I will check in with you in a month and let you know how this goes, but I feel really good about this setup and this layout. So I allowed myself to kind of start to execute that schedule. And again, versus doing all of these projects, all of these tasks that are on my other running to-do list, I was like, no, just clean up one mess a day on the property, one small mess a day, because your physical space is a direct reflection of your brain and it looks crazy. We need to get it together. I have done this for a while, but it's never been a pet peeve of mine because I have been inebriated. Now that I'm sober, I'm like, what is up with all these messes? Those are my excuses. The chaotic environment enables me to hide behind things not being able to get done. And now I'm intentionally and obviously unintentionally doing this. I don't wake up every day and being like, I'm trying to avoid everything. That was my drinking, so we're stopping that. Now, just going back and revisiting all of this, I'm like, the goals I'm setting for myself are like, dude, just clean up after yourself, put things back, finish the project, just do it right, and if it doesn't work, just spend that extra hour fixing it. Instead of like, oh, I'll just put a can of paint here because that means I'm going to paint it and I'll do that in 6 months. Like, no more of that. We don't want that Rachel around. That's not how the future Rachel operates in that lifestyle that I want. So we're trying to make those baby changes now. I'm so happy I didn't try to just bombard myself with a million things, that I really broke it down and kept it simple, because just being more present, being the goal, enabled me to create this whole like life-changing moment for myself, And one of those things is implementing a closing shift, Rachel. Now, I figure out what closing shift looks like based off of the mornings that I have. So I have a tendency to like sit and do dishes, handle the trash, clean up the floor, just mainly tidying up stuff that makes my brain feel a little bit crazy. So I decided to shift that to right before I go to bed. Just handle it all. Again, instead of complaining, just conquer it in the moment. Small steps. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We're not eating an elephant, but you know what I mean. It's huge. You take it one bite at a time. Again, we're not eating an elephant. It is just a saying. The very last thing that I will say about changing your life, because I feel like everybody has a workstation, please make sure that workstation brings you joy. I'm so disconnected from my, like, the center of my house where all the life happens when I'm editing and stuff. So I did cozy this up for a bit, but if we're really gonna be completely and utterly honest, and if I'm gonna annoy you even more, we have to renovate this house. That is why I came out here. What? Remember how there used to be a bed here? Now we're back at the scene of the crime after everything. Okay, again, he was dead asleep. He just loves you guys. And he loves how I feel when I talk to you guys because they heal me. So now we're back to the scene of the crime, and I, again, am so irritated with myself because how many times are we going to make over this room? But it gives me a starting point to really dive into a renovation. Like, how do you renovate a house if you have literally the most minimal money to do so? I'm happy that I gave myself such grace over the last week because now I'm not irritated. I'm just proud that this Rachel exists and is actually, like, I don't know, that she's actually here. I think I've made so many videos over the last year wanting to be this Rachel, wanting to have the self-control or to really, like, dive into therapy and to do the work and to get it together. And now we're here. So back to the scene of the crime. When I see you at the end of the week, we're going to talk about this renovation. But we're getting our lives together, baby. That's what we're doing. Oh, you're on my ovaries. How we're gonna start. So to kick off the renovation, I want to turn this space. We're not gonna do much, but I do want to, like, show you the real flooring that's gonna go in. Pick the hardware plates. Pick the actual switch plates I want to put in throughout the whole house, that type of situation. But this, I realized when Dom stayed here last, is such a tiny bedroom. So we're gonna turn it into an office / couch with a sleeper, so it could be a bedroom, but mainly a movie room. Movie, office, cuddle, puddle room. Okay. I'm done yapping. I'm always yapping, but we're doing good. We're sober. We're doing good. We got a plan. And we're making all of the changes slowly but surely, okay? We might not have the resources like other people. I'm in a really sticky situation, and this is how I'm dealing with getting better. So, I love you guys. I'll see you again very soon for another DIY.